My name is Rick. My wife Jan and I lived at Ferris Hills for some time, but we had to leave. There are not the facilities here which we had hoped to see for Alzheimer's memory care. Jan and I grew up in the same small town in the southern Adirondacks. We went to kindergarten all through high school together. We started dating when we worked together in a dairy store, and it blossomed from there. She was one of the most fantastic people I've ever met. She still is. I was very fortunate that Jan accepted me first as a friend and then as her husband. She's a wonderful person with a very, very caring personality, and she's also an incredible teacher. Jan retired in 2001, quite a few years ago. Jan began to show signs of Alzheimer's about 5 years ago, and a visit to our primary care physician said, "I suspect it," and he had us go to a neurologist who, after some testing, confirmed not just ordinary dementia that we all have as we age, but advancing Alzheimer's. She enjoyed retirement, especially meeting with friends, sailing, swimming, reading especially. She was an avid reader. Alzheimer's has now taken that away from her. It's very sad.
Senior Living Communities is seeking to expand our current Clark Meadows and Rich Living community by adding on a memory care community.
So within our senior communities, we have Ferris Hills, which is our 84 independent living apartments. And then we have Clark Meadows, which is our 48 enriched living apartments. But what we are finding is we need to renovate to create a memory care unit within Clark Meadows.
This expansion includes 12 apartments. 8 of our Clark Meadows apartments will be converted to memory care, and we will be adding 4 apartments. The purpose of the memory care will be to allow our Clark Meadows residents to continue to age in place in the least restrictive environment without having to make premature discharges to a skilled nursing facility in a place that they're comfortable and they feel like is home.
So with our aging population, and over 28% of Ontario County's population is over 65, as we age, memory issues come into play. Whether we're talking about Alzheimer's, we're talking about dementia. And folks with early Alzheimer's and early dementia, they need a safer environment to live in, but they don't need to go all the way to long-term care. And this is kind of a step in between. And we want to be able to keep a lot of our residents who are in Clark Meadows and in our community still want to live with their spouses, and this will allow that to happen in a safe unit.
My wife's disease progression has been faster than I expected it to be. I'm the primary caregiver. We have lots of friends locally, that helps. But it was time for Jan to go to memory care, and we had hoped to be able to do it here at Ferris Hills. It's a wonderful facility.
So in Ontario County, there are only 2 other memory care communities. Those 2 communities alone are not sufficient enough to meet the needs of the aging population. Transitioning from your home to a higher level of care is a challenge in itself. When residents move to Clark Meadows or Ferris Hills and they finally establish that comfort, to have them uproot from their home in a place where they are familiar and have those established connections is absolutely heartbreaking.
For our residents at Clark Meadows, it is their home. And when they have the signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's or early dementia, we don't want them to have to leave their home. This project will allow them to stay in their home for longer periods of time in a safe environment.
We've already asked that when it is completed, that we can move back here. I would move back to Ferris Hills, and Jan would move to the memory care unit. That would make it wonderful for me to be able to walk down the hall and visit her at all times of the day. We've been married 59 years, and just stepping aside from that marriage is not something I ever want to do.
Adding the memory care community to Clark Meadows, it's just the right thing to do. It allows for that continuum of care for our residents to age in place.
In this fiscally challenging environment we are all working in, we need your help. We need your help to support our community. The Sands Family Foundation has once again stepped up with a very significant pledge that has really set us on a path of meeting our fundraising goals for this project.
This memory care unit is so important to me for my ability to care for my wife. I believe it's very important also for the community because there's a growing population of older people with dementia and Alzheimer's who need care like the care that's provided at Ferris Hills and Clark Meadows, but it's needed in the memory care area as well.
This project is the first project of many in our master facility plan and our strategic plan. We are very excited to share more of these projects with you, but this is the first project of many as we move forward to position Thompson to care for our community for decades to come. Thank you for your continued dedication and support to Thompson Health.
Jan showed me what love is like. She taught me how to love and how to be loved, how to accept being loved. That has meant so much throughout my whole life. I care for her. I want the best for her, the best I can do through the end of our times.